Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. I'm the Daily Explorer. My name is Josh, and I appreciate you guys checking out another video and clicking on this video here. I've been trying to make as many videos as possible and make them as entertaining as possible. So hopefully you guys do appreciate that. If you guys can subscribe, like the video, that would mean the world to me. Today I'm over here in the Boston, Ohio area, better known as Peninsula, Ohio. We're here at the Visitor Center. The very interesting thing about this is that it is kind of called Helltown, Ohio. It used to be called Helltown. There was like an entire town here that was demolished maybe a few years back. And there's a lot of folklore, there's a lot of ghost stories, Crybaby Bridge, that type of stuff. There's just a lot of really eerie folklore, abandoned stuff in this area. So we're going to go through and we're going to check it out. So go ahead and stick along for the journey. The entire video it's going to be pretty interesting here. So we've got a lot going on here, friends, and we've also got some abandoned places and some incredible spots that we're going to check out either in this video or the next Boston video that I'm going to be covering here coming up. So I'll try to get to as much as I can in this video. But of course, I don't want to make these videos too long, I guess. I don't want to make like 2-3 hour long videos. Plus, it's hard to render out. It's hard to kind of process and make these videos when they're 2-3 hours long. Currently, some of the videos are about an hour. And for an hour video, the processing time is easily 12 to 16 hours in that range there. So, excuse me. Gotta clear my throat here. All right. Definitely an awesome area. I'm not really sure what these bridges are called. But yeah, to give some more information, there's definitely a lot of like haunted ghost stuff in this area, lots of stories. There was there was a toxic waste spill in this area. I believe it was from one of the companies in the area. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if it's like if that was an automobile company or what that was, but there was some sort of chemical spill. And ever since then, there's been lots of mysteries in this area, lots of ghost stories. Crybaby Bridge, which, as far as I'm aware, is a bridge that I believe a mother may have murdered her baby at, or there may be a baby had passed away and that type of stuff. And that's where you get the folklore at. So here's a little bit of infographics we have here for Boston Mills. The presence of industry changed the look of culture of the Cuyahoga Valley in the early 1900s. Both the Cleveland Akron Bag Company and the Jate Paper Mill built new structures that impacted the area. So I'm not sure if it's the Jate Paper Mill that ended up kind of poisoning the area with chemicals. I'm not really too sure, but here's some more infographics for the development of Valley Industry. Some old street views of the Jate Paper Mill. The Jate Paper Mill was a huge abandoned place in this area. And ever since then has been demolished. But here's a good look at Ride the Rails. Super cool. Got some old train tracks here. I'm not really sure. It says danger, keep off track, so we'll definitely keep off of that area there, but here we can get a better look of the buildings themselves that are here. A lot of very old historic buildings, much of which have been abandoned. There are some homes in the area, but the vast majority of which has been abandoned or demolished. So we're going to take a look around here, friends. We're going to take a nice walk around here, and we're going to see if we can discover, maybe it'll have some graphics or information here on some of the Helltown mystery. It's hard to tell. It almost seems like It's one of those mysteries to where somebody has kind of covered up the folklore of this area here. And like I said, we're at the Boston Mills Visitor Center. There's lots of cool stuff. I can imagine this tree here is probably extremely old. There's another good look at it there. These buildings are definitely pretty fantastic here. Looks like they're used for storage now, but back in the day, this would have been employees for a lot of the companies in this area. We're going to make our way down to the other side. We're going to see if we can carefully get around to some of the lower areas down towards the water. It's a little hard to see, but right in the background, right dead center to the screen, we've got Brandywine Falls, which is a ski resort here in the area. Very, very popular. As I was passing, the entire parking lot was completely full of cars. Here's a better look at their sign here for Cuyahoga Valley National Park, the Boston Mill Visitor Center. I guess I keep calling it Boston Mills, but it seems like it's Boston Mill. Boston Mill. National Park Service, U.S. Department of the Interior. Come back over here, they've got the Visitor Center over here on my right-hand side, which is cool. Definitely have to check that out. We may or may not go inside. It's hard to really tell. Their visitor hours are kind of spotty. Here's a sign that's kind of over a little bit, but it shows kind of the map of everything and shows kind of the trips of all the different walking paths and that type of stuff there. Get a good look here at railroad crossing for this area. I believe this is going to be for the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad here. They come right along here. So it's nice to have all sorts of pretty cool little landmarks for them. And here's a better view down the tracks right here. And we can see the bridges in the background too, which is a nice backdrop for sure. There's a better view down this way. They've got retrofitted. It's interesting how they have train tracks here, right here in this area. And this is almost like, I guess, a walking path for people. So it's pretty cool that they have that. It's not like the gates come down or anything like that. They are just basic light-only train signals. Look down there, we can see down the tracks a little further. You can see where the other signals are. And then we have maybe a better view of Brandywine in the background over there. And we may get over there. It's hard to really tell if we will get over to that area or not. A bunch of cool seating areas over here. I definitely love what they've done with the place for sure. It's definitely a very beautiful area. So we're going to check out some of these infographics and we're going to read and see what it says. Visitor hours, quick start guide, calendar of events. Here's the date and time, of course, and also the weather. Pretty cool. A river canal in a railroad town. The village of Boston grew up along the Cuyahoga River. After the Ohio and Erie Canal opened in 1827, the community boomed with boatyards and businesses serving canal traffic. The Valley Railway opened in 1880 and spurred construction of the Cleveland-Akron Bag Company in 1898. Definitely really cool. Gives a little view of where all the different companies were at back in those time periods. Here's a really cool building here. It's like a really cool structure. It's pretty old looking. It's hard to really tell if it's original or not. It might tell me right here. Cuyahoga Valley National Park. A river renewed. The Cuyahoga River is a symbol of what's possible when people work together for clean water. As an industrial river flowing through Akron and Cleveland, it became internationally famous for its pollution. That's great. Today the river is a water trail and a centerpiece of the national park, so they've cleaned it up quite a bit. Used to be a bit more dirty, and as I had mentioned, dumped pretty good chemicals. Here's another view at the visitor center from this area here, from this side. Beautiful view for sure. It turned out to be a fantastic day, which made it very nice for these shots. There's a little bit of graffiti, or I guess it's not even graffiti, I guess it's just straight up art on the underside of that bridge. I just don't think we can get over there. But it's pretty cool to see from this side. If I can get us over there, I definitely will. But it's hard for me to tell for sure. Okay. In grateful acknowledgement of a gift by the Akron Garden Club. In grateful acknowledgement of a gift by the Mary S. and David C. Corbin Foundation. So, little places like this are a really nice centerpiece to parks like this. So let's see if we can get us a good backdrop on it as we float outwards. Definitely a pretty cool building. Looks like it's been modernized, so I'm not really sure how old it is, but some of these stones are pretty cool here that they've got. They definitely look like older stones. Amazing how square they are. Perfect for sitting, especially in the summertime. Okay, there's an infographic over here. It looks like this is a restroom. Most likely, from what I can tell, one of the old buildings have been converted into a restroom. Okay, protecting Cuyahoga Valley. Efforts to preserve Cuyahoga Valley began in the 1920s with new county park systems around Cleveland and Akron. After World War II, major suburban development projects threatened the valley. Construction of interstate highways was followed by power lines, a sports stadium, and housing. So it definitely affected the valley. Of course, here's the bridges in question that you can see right over there. Just a little bit better view of those infographics. Interesting. Very interesting. Go down over here a little ways and see what's over here. Like I said, this looks like the bathroom area. This building on my left. Not really sure what this other building is over here. It's like just kind of a storage building of some sort. Not too sure if it's original or... Yeah, it looks original. It's definitely got some original stone and some original woodwork going on. So I would assume it's original to the area. You've got random benches all the way throughout these buildings, which is nice. Okay. There's, of course, a lot to see here in this area. So what we'll do is we'll cross the bridge right here in front of me, and we will go around to the other side, see how far we can get down towards the water's edge, because that'll give us a good view. So we can step down over here. Try to give us as many views of this area as possible. Like I said, it's an extremely historic area with a tremendous amount of history. And like I said, a lot of these buildings, a lot of these places have been demolished in the last 20, 30 years, I believe. I think some of them more recently and that type of stuff, but let's see what's over this direction. Give us a good view of those bridges over there, especially with the sun in the background. It's always good to see that sun. Okay, this goes nowhere over here. You know, we've got to explore it and check it out and see if there's any structures or anything abandoned. So I've got a lot of videos planned. If you guys can, like this video, subscribe, comment if you guys can. I'd really appreciate that on how you guys would like me to make the videos better, what kind of places you guys would like to see. I do a lot of videos on foot, on scooter, by car, and that type of stuff there. So there's gonna be lots of videos coming soon of abandoned places, historic places, national parks, trails. There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on, friends. So I'm going to be consistent, going to be posting regularly. I'm an old school YouTuber. Oh no, no, somebody jumped off the bridge. No, no, we must go in after them. Jump in after them. Let's go. I just jump in there, take off. Huh, it's interesting. It's quite unique. Here we can get a good view over the railing, of course, of the water. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Here's a view this way. Get you a view this way too, as well. Here's that graffiti over there. It looks like it's only on one side of the bridge, which is interesting. I'll see if I can maybe get us down there to take a look at that. And this may possibly be at least a 1 or a 2-part series for this winter time for Boston Mills, this Helltown area, Helltown, Ohio, as it was formerly called. Like I said, now this is Boston or Peninsula, Ohio. And like I said, there are a few abandoned places in this area that I want to explore. So if I don't get to that in this video, make sure you guys stick along, and I'll try to cover that in an upcoming video. All right, let me make my way down this hill right here, this snowy hill. There's like some wild bird tracks of some sort. Probably a nice little turkey or some sort of crane. Here's a good shot at these stairs. Super old stone stairs, it looks like. Luckily, I was able to get down through here. Get us a better view of the waterway on that side there. See if I can get down here without falling and breaking my ass. Yeah, it looks like large... Dang, looks like large bird prints of some sort. Probably either a turkey or a crane, but usually cranes don't really, I guess, move around that much. I don't know if they really walk too much up along the shore area, but... could have been a turkey, I guess. Hard to really tell. It's a good view looking at underneath the bridges over on this side. Definitely a really cool area. Highly photographic. Very historic, as I mentioned a few times in the video already. And if you guys are so far enjoying the video, if you guys can hit that like button for this video, it really fuels me and helps me make more videos and gets us moving on the algorithm here on YouTube. Helps things going. Helps keeps things going. Okay, let's wander over here. There's a few abandoned buildings here. I believe pretty much all of this is abandoned over here for the most part. They use some of these as offices and centers for the employees here of the National Park Service. But besides that, these buildings are pretty much completely abandoned and, locked up. These aren't buildings that I would ever get into or want to get into. They've thoroughly definitely been gutted, and there's really probably not a whole lot of history in them. They may even be used as forms of storage for the National Park Service. So I can't imagine there's anything inside of these buildings at all, pretty much. So we'll check that building out here in a minute. Let's go over here. This is like a, wow, like an old house, it looks like. National Park Service. Keep the door closed. That's just a bathroom there. That is a bathroom there. I was going to peek through the window, but I'd rather not do that. I'd rather not do that. This is a cool house here. Let's see if we can get a good view of this. Has alarm systems on the window. So even if you did try to get in, looks like they've got alarm systems set up of various kinds. And as I mentioned, there's probably nothing really even in there. If anything, it could be like filing cabinets or stuff like that, So these are not the abandoned buildings that we're going to be seeing here in this video. We're going to be seeing some abandoned farm buildings and houses and most likely in this video, if not this video, the next video. So if you don't see it in this video, make sure you guys stay along for the journey because there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. Here's like an old abandoned garage, repair garage for, I believe, cars, or maybe even for what could have been a gas station of some sort. There's some stuff in there, like I said, it looks like it's just used primarily for the National Park Service. It looks like it's got like boats and stuff like that in there for rescue and that type of stuff. Out with the old, in with the new, I guess. What can you do? You've got all sorts of stuff in there. Oh my God. There's a whole box of National Park Service name tags in wood. Looks like they could be ready for either people or guests, events, or new employees. Hard to really tell. There's a big box of them though. Okay, here we have another look at the old abandoned gas station and the pumps. MD Garage. It's hard to tell if that was its original name or not. Not really too sure. It's hard for me to tell. Gas pumps obviously don't work, but definitely a little piece of history. There's no doubt about that. The Tockheim Pump. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Pretty cool. Look at that. They have the old glass motorized gas pump. The thing that would have had to been full, I guess, to pressurize the gas, it looks like. I don't really know a whole lot about old gas pumps. I'm sure if somebody knows, they can kind of correct me in the comments down below, but we can pump some gas, guys. Holy cow. Look at that. It does smell like gas over in this area, so it's pretty cool. Here we've got another one. Got some stuff on the side. It contains lead. The patent plaque here, so you guys can see that if you need to. Okay, look at the almost like bomb-inspired corners for the garage here. It's like half bombs, or I'm not really sure what you'd even call it. Or maybe they're blimps, because of Akron and blimps and stuff like that. It's in that area. So MD Garage, and it looks like MD would have been Marjan Durzinski, if I said that right. Pure products, pure tires, batteries, accessories. Out of service. This is an old tire inflator that they would have had for inflating tires. Filling up those tires with air. Got a grate right below it. I'm not too sure what that's about. Would have probably access to underneath of the building itself. Sounds out of service, but let's give it a try. Definitely feels broken. There's no doubt about that. It does not feel like it works. I have a few like old cans and stuff like that in the window that they probably could have removed if they really wanted to, but they didn't. Here's another old gas pump. This one actually has an actual handle. Actual handle itself. Can't take the handle off. That would have been like an old style pump handle for pumping gas. It's incredible. Definitely really cool. Next door, we've got another building over here. Very cool old building. Not really sure what it is, but we're gonna have to go check it out. Definitely gonna have to go check this out. So it's the Boston store. Pretty cool. And it's closed for the season. So it's all newer stuff in there. It looks like it's an actual active store where you can go get drinks, or you can buy merch and stuff like that. It's pretty cool old barrels and sitting places over here. Got an infographic. Let's go ahead and check it out. Early 1900s Boston, bag industry town. So it's basically a bad company town for sure. So reading off of the infographic, Boston's economy boomed building canal boats. Later it shifted to making toy marbles and then paper. If you were standing here in the early 1900s, the photo below shows what you would have seen. Across the Cuyahoga River stood the Cleveland Akron Bag Company. The factory employed nearly 200 people, many of them Polish immigrants. So absolutely incredible. And here's a look at the old factory and the grocery store. Here's an aerial photo. It's taken about 1910 from the other side of the river. Pretty cool. Awesome pieces of history for sure. Just incredible. Workmanship and art. Absolutely incredible. You get a quick glimpse of this building over here that I said I was going to come back around and check out for you guys. So let's go ahead and check it out. Definitely a beautiful day. Hopefully you guys are all having a fantastic and beautiful day as well. As I always say, any day there's sun's out is a beautiful day. Any day we have is a beautiful day. So all days are good. We try to make them good, the best that we can. Some really cool electrical wire that they used to have right here. Some electrical connections for when this building assumably, had electricity. Back in the day, that's a very old connection for where they would have connected electricity at. I mean, that's pretty cool to see that. Quite a few marks have been made. I mean, these nails are fantastic. I mean, they're just super old nails. A bunch of marks right there when it looks like they may have had something stacked on there or stapled on there or nailed on there, what have you. Okay, friends, let's go ahead and let's walk around. Let's go to the other side. Yeah, let's go to the other side over here. Over on the other side and check out some of those houses and stuff like that on the other side. I have to go up here. I see a boat across the road. I'm gonna love to go over here and see and check this boat over here and see what this infographic says over here. So we'll see what we've got. If we continue that way, I believe it goes into Brandywine Falls. A lot of these buildings around over this direction are people's homes. And it looks like we've got like a wooden boat of some sort here. And we'll go over here and we'll take a look, see what these infographics say. Bustling boat building village. William Barnhart and James Fairweather's boatyard is humming with activity. Shipwrights enclose the hull of a canal boat with white oak boards from Julius Edson's sawmill and lumberyard. The blacksmith, R. Darmer, makes dead-eye rings for canal boat ropes. So it was a big collaboration between the community and all the different people that would have been in this area. You had everything in one area. You had a lumberyard, a store, a blacksmith shop, and the boatyard, all in kind of one area, along with the towpath, of course. So, and then of course right here we've got some more infographics for building a canal boat. The size and shape of a canal boat is determined by the smallest lock. So give us a good idea of what that says, and you guys can even see some of the different materials and stuff like that, or what these would have looked like. So I can get a better view of these. So it shows kind of the base layers of these, and them kind of building up, I guess. Canal boats were up to 75 feet long and 14 feet wide. The large model nearby is 1/2 scale. You're welcome to climb on the stern, but not on the roof. Interesting. 1/2 scale. 75 feet long. 1/2 scale. I'm not sure if I know what a half scale is. It does not look like double this would have been a boat, you know? I mean, I don't know. At least not at 75 feet long, 14 foot wide. I really don't know. It doesn't sound right to me. It's kind of odd, but Fortunes rise and fall. Boston and its citizens experience booms and busts. Entrepreneur Julius Edson built a business empire that included a sawmill, a grist mill, and major land parcels. By 1856, he also had gained a controlling interest in the 20-year-old Boston Land and Manufacturing Company across the road. So very cool. There's a picture of Mr. Edson, I believe. Actually, that's Jim and Lucy Brown. It looks like Jim and Lucy Brown's hotel was built on a lot given or sold to her alone by her father, Watrous Mather. Interesting. So I'm not too sure. I thought that would have been a picture of Mr. Edson, Julius Edson, but I guess not. Interesting. Okay, friends, let's go ahead and I would love to gain access to the underside of this bridge over here, as that's where that big mural or art was underneath that bridge. I would love to check that out. But we are going to have to check out a couple of these buildings, and then we're going to proceed on, and we're going to see if we can get to a couple of those really cool abandoned places. So they got really cool benches over here for everybody. Very old building here. Reading the placard it has, it says built 1911, dedicated as Trail Mix, August 24th, 2007. Trail Mix. Interesting. I'm not sure if that refers to a person or a business, or not really sure. Museum of Creative Human Art. The Conservancy. I guess I said it right the first time. It's like, looks like a place where they have art. Possibly. Must have transformed it from an old building into an art studio of some sort. These places are incredible. My gosh. Buildings in this area, like I said, they're just fantastic to see them. You know, they just don't make things like they used to, friends. They just do not make things like they used to. There's an example, like, what the hell is that? It doesn't make sense. But for the most part, things were made right, but every once in a while you see some weird stuff. But here's a view at the back of this old building or house here. So they've modernized everything a little bit. Like I said, they use it pretty much the vast majority of it for storage, because if you saw the inside of a lot of this stuff, it's all modern stuff for the most part. Kind of fortunately, unfortunately, you know, I mean, it's their property, I guess. You know, at this point, and they're taking care of it and keeping it for history, I guess, so they can kind of do whatever they want to do. Doorbell does not work. Please knock. I don't think that's very old. Somebody could not have put that on there like 100 years ago, let's put it that way, you know. Sharpies did not exist. These angles of these tops of these windows are pretty cool. I love the details like that. Pretty cool. So like I said, this used to be a huge town here. I believe along this area there used to be a lot of old houses and that type of stuff. And a lot of this stuff has gotten demolished over time. Especially at one time whenever the park system had bought this area, and it had sat vacant, and a lot of these buildings had really kind of dilapidated and, you know, and that type of stuff, until they had the funds to kind of fix and make the park system as nice as humanly possible. So, all right, friends, let's keep moving here, and we're going to try to explore. We're going to go up the road a little bit, hopefully try to explore some different areas as far as abandoned buildings and houses and that type of stuff there. So I'll see where I can get us to, how far we have to go and that type of stuff. So let's check out some abandoned places if we can. I'm gonna try to get us into these places. I'll check back with you guys here in just a few moments once I'm kind of a little closer, because it is definitely quite the walk. So check with you guys here in a minute. Okay, you guys, there's an abandoned place right down here that I definitely want to check out. Let's see what we got. Across the road over here so I can stay looking into traffic. Make my life a little bit more simple right now, especially with all these hills and stuff. Just a little bit more safer for me, I guess. I'll move over if I have to, of course. But yeah, there's like an abandoned place down here. I'm not sure if it's a house or what it is, but it definitely looks abandoned. We're gonna go down and check it out. If it is not abandoned, or if it does not look abandoned, then I will kind of forego that, and I will skip on to the next location, because I have one more location that I want to check out over in the Helltown area, over here, Peninsula area. And it's definitely abandoned, so we're gonna check it out, see if we can get in there. Let's do it, friends. Let's do it. It should just be right up here. It's just a short walk. It really wasn't that bad. Getting into this location and seeing how far it is away from my the spot where I'm at. Today I had to bring my vehicle because I'm checking out some other places, and plus I had some other businesses to attend. And I figured I would do some recreational activity here and check out some cool places for you guys and make a nice video. Some other videos I have planned and some of the other videos I've posted are absolutely insane, so just some incredible stuff on the channel that I'm trying to put out, and some really cool ideas that I have coming up for some really awesome videos. So like I said, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. It means the world to me. Jump over here to the side because it looks like there's a vehicle coming right now. So I'm gonna jump over to the side and we're gonna get out of the way for this car here and wait for them to pass. Cars on both sides, so I didn't want to risk jumping to the other side or whatever the case may be. Try to keep everything as safe as we can. Kosher, friends, kosher. Just like the salt. Isn't it kosher salt? I think. I know there's sea salt. Tons of tracks in this area. It's incredible how many deer and rabbits. I mean, there's just so many tracks in this area. It almost looks like it's entirely deer, but I am not stopping to analyze them right now. So we've got to get up to this location and see what it looks like. So this entire area is like a valley. There's valleys all on all sides of me right now. Over on the other side, it's just a huge drop off. And then right at the end of this valley, there's a house or a building. And like I said, it is definitely abandoned. So we're gonna go check it out. I mean, it looks abandoned to me. So when I was when I was scoping it out, it looked pretty run down. So I didn't see any tracks or anything like that. You know, with the snow and stuff, we'll be able to get a good idea of if somebody has been down through there or not, I guess. So we'll check it out. Okay, friends. Keep on moving, keep on trucking. Keep on moving, keep on trucking like a semi-truck. Like I don't give a fuck. I couldn't help myself. You know, every day, if you guys get to know me pretty well, and hopefully you guys do, I'm going to try to post as many videos and give you guys a good glimpse of my personality and try to do as much good in the world as humanly possible. But if you guys get to know my personality a little bit better, I try to laugh and smile as much as humanly possible. It's kind of my goal in life. Okay, we've got a car coming on the other side. We've got a car coming on our side. We're gonna see if we can jump over. I just don't know if we're gonna be able to do it. We're gonna do it. We're gone. Jump over to this other side over here so that way we don't have to worry about any traffic coming up on us. And this is the more appropriate side, I guess, so lots of valleys and gullies and that type of stuff. Like I said, over in this area. Okay, now that that vehicle is passed, I'm gonna look and see if another vehicle coming up on the left-hand side. We have to be on this side anyways, but I'm just trying to stay ahead of traffic and, as I mentioned, just try to be as safe as I can for myself. This is pretty cool. Stuff you don't see very often. Let me see if I can get us a good glimpse of what I see here, friends. Get you guys out there. So right in this tree is an old license plate just stuck in that tree. It looks like it's grown into the tree. Let me climb over this barricade because I think that's just really cool. I think it's really cool. Look at that. That license plate is literally grown into that tree. Somebody stuck it in there, or, oh man, there could have been an accident here a long, long time ago. Hard for me to really tell. Of course, the scarring on the tree right there does indicate that there could have been an accident, but that's pretty cool. Pretty interesting. I mean, not the accident. The accident's not cool, especially if somebody had lost their life. That is definitely not cool, but it is history nonetheless, so it's hard for me to really tell what had happened there. See, those little things, those are little moments that I'm looking for when I get out here. Things that people just pass by every single day. You could live in this area, you could work in this area, or you could drive through this area for 20, 30, 40 years and never stop to know that that was ever there. You know, especially in the future as it becomes much more rusted. Pretty incredible. Keep my head on a swivel for traffic. I can't tell if I hear somebody coming up or not. Here's a house, private property. Somebody actually has a house out here. There's not too many properties out here. As we've been walking along, you know, I've been looking, and there hasn't been a whole lot of houses or anything, any activity really out here. Pretty much at all. Lots of tracks from somebody going crazy on the tires, probably on their Mustang. Jump on over to the other side here. We've got a large truck coming towards us. A big old Hemi. A Hemi. Definitely a 4x4 coming up on us here. Nice red truck. Check my backside. Everything looks clear behind me. I'm gonna jump over so I have some future eyes. That's what I'm gonna call them, future eyes. See into the future. It's just a wonderful day. A little bit of cloud coverage here and there, but the sun is trying to poke through. On the left-hand side, you can see that. It's always good to see a little bit of sun on a cloudy day. Here's some old stones here. It looks like somebody has like some private property here or something with a gate. Let's take a look down in there and see what that is. I am curious. I am very curious. Oh gosh, if I can. Hopefully I don't hit too many thorn bushes, because I know they're here. Thorn bushes are fun. Yeah, there's nothing here, pretty much. Pretty much nothing here beyond this gate that I can tell. Some bricks and stuff like that. See if we can get out of here without getting thorned. What in the hell was that all about? Oh my God, the thorns. Probably got them stuck all in my clothes. That's tons of fun, and that's a whole different adventure there. Getting that stuff out of there and de-thorning the clothes. Okay, we're almost there, friends. I can see the mailbox. I'm surprised they even still have the mailbox, but I guess they have to have a mailbox. I don't know. I can see the mailbox coming up ahead for this abandoned property or structure. And like I said, our goal right now is to investigate, take a look around, see how safe it is, see if there's any sort of tracks or any indication that there could be somebody living here or inhabiting this structure in any sort of way. And then what we can do is we will try to venture inside and we'll see what it looks like in there. Here's an excellent view here. I love this. You see all the power lines going down through, and you've got the sun as a backdrop. Tons of valleys and hills as it heads up. It always amazes me when I see these power lines and these poles. You know, how they get these stuff to these locations. They almost seem like they're always in the most impossible locations to get equipment or trucks and that type of stuff. So I can't imagine it was a cheap endeavor. I mean, how would you even, my gosh, everything would have to be flown in by helicopter, I guess. Speaking of helicopter or electrical, oh my God, look how low these power lines are. These power lines are literally almost touching the ground. Oh, it looks like they are pretty much touching the ground up here. That is super sketchy. Super sketchy. I don't know if you can really see how close those are on video. Those are just like at the floor. Usually they're up at the very top of the pole. And these ones, look at that. It's pretty much right on the ground. They definitely should be fixing that. Definitely want to be fixing that. But they'll wait until it fails, I guess. Okay, so here we are at this property. It looks like somebody is more than likely living here. I do see tracks leading to and from this house, so I really don't know how close I can get us to this house here. Got a car coming up on my left, or on my side here. It looks abandoned, but I mean, if there's tracks coming in and out, I mean, it could be another urban explorer. It could be somebody else who said, I want to check this area out, but it's almost impossible for me to tell. The windows don't look broken. Yeah, it's too sketchy, you guys. So I'm not going to be able to get us really over there very much. Let me see if I can get us a zoom in on that area. Gosh, it's just so hard to tell. There's no signs or anything. Let me see if I can walk down the driveway just a little bit to get a little closer view of what we're looking at. I'm not going to go too far. I'll stand right here at the end of the driveway. But it's definitely pretty dilapidated. The house itself doesn't look too dilapidated, I guess. But I mean, it does, but it doesn't. See if I can zoom in just a bit. And the garage itself pretty much has no windows, and it's definitely not a garage anymore. But the house, like I said, it has tracks leading to and from the house itself. So I'm going to assume that it's probably not abandoned. I'm going to have to assume that. I really don't want to go onto the property and risk getting shot or anything like that. So do not want to risk that. Once again, safety over anything, friends, safety over anything. At least we were able to venture down here and take a look at it and see if we're able to gain access to it, but I just don't think we're going to be able to gain access to that property there. It does look abandoned. I definitely don't see any activity. Don't see any cars, but does not mean that somebody is not there currently or whatever the case may be. Very interesting. It could even be like city. Man, I don't see any like papers or any trash outside. So yeah, let's move on to the next location, you guys. I'll check with you guys here in a couple minutes once we're at the next location. Let's do it. All right, everyone, we're coming up to the location of abandoned location number 2. The first location, as I had mentioned, did not seem abandoned, so I didn't feel safe taking a look at that other location. But we're gonna go over here to this second location and we're gonna check it out. So there are so many tracks in this area from wildlife, no human tracks whatsoever. And as we come down here a little bit, just a little ways, over in this clearing, over in this area, there is an abandoned building or I think it's a farmhouse. I believe it's like some sort of farmhouse over here, but we're gonna see if we can gain access to it. And this one here, almost certainly we should be able to get into the inside of and see what it looks like. We'll have to be very careful, naturally, as we try to gain access to this area. We'll check and see if there's any tracks, or I believe there's foot tracks from people, but it looks like possibly people were checking the area out. I'll have to see kind of what's going on. I don't believe there's any no trespassing signs. It's a beautiful day for urban exploring and adventuring and checking out abandoned places and historic places. Earlier in the video, we checked out the Helltown area of Ohio, which is formerly known as Peninsula, Boston, or formerly Helltown, now known as Boston Peninsula. Should I correct myself? Sorry about that. Okay, so right over here, there's a clearing. And we're gonna have to see what kind of tracks. All I just see is really deer tracks right now. I don't see any people tracks. Any folks. I don't see any folks. All right. Nobody around. Nobody around. No cars. Yeah, all these tracks are definitely from what looks to be animal for the most part. There's some tracks very, very old from people's foot tracks. So, but they're incredibly old, it looks like. Yeah, I guess it's a little hard to tell, but they do look pretty damn old. I guess I'll know once I get into here. A ton of deer tracks and that type of stuff. Let's see what we got over here, friends. Cool area. Trying to check and see if I can notice where these tracks are headed to. Not too sure. It looked like there was people tracks from people, but I don't see any more. Let me switch my glasses so I have my better glasses on. Right now I've got my sunglasses on, so I want to be able to see if we go in there. So give me 1 second. Let me switch. Let me swap my optics here real quick, friends. Give me just one moment. Bear with me. Put these away here. Zippity zip. All right, let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Hello? Hello? Make sure to announce myself to see if I can hear anybody. There's no foot tracks, or any tracks leading into there at all. It looks pretty abandoned and dilapidated. Let's see if we can go around to the other side so we can get a good glimpse at the innards of this place. Hello? Yeah, I don't see anybody. Don't see anybody. I do not hear anybody. Let's see if we can get in here, friends. Pretty cool. Make sure we're staring, looking around. Make sure we're looking around. Have to be careful. I just don't know what this floor is made out of. Looks like the upper floor has already collapsed out of this building. Bunch of styrofoam in here. I'm stepping on a lot of glass. Definitely lots of glass in this area. So we See kind of the conditions of the floor, I guess. Lots of shoes right there. Old hair dryer. See if we can carefully walk around without stepping on anything too detrimental. We do have to be careful of collapses here. Let's take a look. Incredible place. Hello? There's nobody here. Lots of old stuff here. There's an old chest freezer there, which I'm definitely afraid to open that up. Maybe we'll take a look inside here towards the end of the video. Definitely have to be careful. There's a lot of glass where I'm stepping on here. See if I can carefully work my way over. Here's like an old bottle on the floor here. Wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Everything here is so old. I really don't see any modern stuff here really whatsoever. It's hard to tell if somebody was living here or not. After this place had become abandoned, it's hard to tell if anybody had decided to move in since then. Let's see if we can carefully work our way on up these stairs. We do have to be extremely careful, knowing how to step and where to step is key. Hello. Quick look inside. I'm definitely not going to go in there because the floor, like I said, it's getting ready to collapse, and we can even see it's just bowing downwards. So wish I could get us in there a little further, but it is not worth it, friends. It is not worth it. Even where I'm standing is just very, very flimsy. I have old art or old drawings or notes of some sort. Old binders and folders. Tons of history here. Somebody's entire life essentially was in this area. Let's go down these rickety stairs. You can see kind of where I came up. Super sketchy. There was a second floor on that side there. It's all collapsed at this point. Bulbs have been broken out. Wow. Cool place. Okay, let's go ahead and work our way down the stairs here. These stairs actually seem to be pretty sturdy. Where I just came out of, these stairs actually seem to be pretty sturdy. Not too bad. The railing itself looks like it's falling apart, but besides that, it doesn't look too bad. Looks like somebody's propped this up. Put a prop stick here to kind of keep the wall up right over in this area. A lot of Giant Eagle milk in this area. Giant Eagle is a supermarket in our area of Ohio. Let's take a look down here and see what we got. Not good. Very moldy, very musty. Everything's completely sinking in. As I'm stepping, it's very, very flimsy. So I'm not going to go in too much further. History is just time is just going to take this place. And the drywall up above doesn't look horrible, I guess, but it's dirty and dingy. Could probably be sanded down and refinished, though. Okay, whew. Interesting. Interesting little place. Oh, wow. Whew. I have to be careful where I'm stepping at. I just don't know. These grounds could be pretty soft here, so I have to be very careful. I've got a ladder leading down into this area. Let's see if I can get a look down in there. It's just a look. I believe we can see most of that from above for the most part. I believe. Take a quick look around here. Lots of tracks leading into this area. Whew. Do have to be very careful. I see a hole right there, and I just don't know how deep it is, friends. I just don't know how deep that is. That could go pretty far, or it could be not too bad. So somebody's collected a lot of sticks here. Not going to walk through there. There's not a whole lot to see, I guess, but somebody's collected a whole lot of sticks and gathered them up here. It could be from the previous owner of said property, whomever that may be. This entire area is covered with thorn bushes too, which is, in the bushes, it's just covered with thorn bushes, which makes it a little hard for me to move around here. I'm glad this worked out, this area worked out, because this is definitely an abandoned building for sure, an abandoned property. There haven't been people here in quite some time, especially living in this area. Let's go down over this way a little bit. I think I see something at the edge of the property I want to take a look at. I'm not really sure what it is. It could even just be, wow, they had their own like little water system or runoff system for their water. Either discharge gray water or clean water. I'm not really sure. It looks like it's for dirty gray water or what have you. Something's peed right here. Some sort of animal piss. Okay, there's just a couple things on the edge of the property. It's just kind of related to farming, it looks like, that have been abandoned. Let's go back to the building over here. Let's make sure we've kind of checked everything out the best we can over here. It's such an incredible property. I just want to see a little bit more. Oh man, there's the old well system there. It's just a big circular hole. Hard to tell how deep that is, but it's there. So that was their water. So they had water on the one side and then their gray water or wastewater on the other side. So, okay, let's go back to this door here very briefly. And let's see what else we can find, I guess. Take a look. Man, I wonder what is up above. Somebody's put, whew, I gotta be careful with this glass, friends. Oh, it's just a bunch of insulation, I guess. A bunch of clear wrapping for insulation. I was wondering what was above. And okay, let's see if we can carefully peek through here. Hello? Surely there's gotta be something living in here as far as a rabbit or a squirrel or something. I mean, this place is pretty dilapidated. Okay. Let's walk over here a little bit and gotta be careful. Be as careful as we can here. Okay, this is sketchy. I can see quite a ways down below, so I'm not gonna walk any further because right now, even right now where I'm at, I could fall down probably 15, 20 feet. So I have to be extremely cautious and careful there. Not gonna go any further, but I'm just curious to see. Oh, that's disgusting. All right, that's exactly what I expected to find in that. Oh, in that chest freezer was just a whole bunch of nasty food and stuff, and quick glimpse inside there. All right, that pretty much sums it up for this place. Definitely have to be extremely careful. This place is definitely a hazard. It's even incredible. Looks like there's even cut power there, but I doubt that's even connected. But I'm thoroughly surprised that this hasn't been condemned and locked off and that type of stuff. I guess it's not a big enough city to kind of justify that, but I'm not sure if it's a village or a city. I believe we're still in Peninsula or Boston. So, pretty cool place. It's a shame that it's kind of going by the wayside. It's definitely a shame that it's just sitting here all abandoned. So it's definitely unfortunate. It's an interesting little cutout, almost like a concrete pad could have been here. It's a better look at the building itself, the structure. Little piece of history. They're rotting away in the woods, friends. Okay, everyone, that is where we're going to end this video. I'm going to leave in some extra shots at the end of some of the things that we're going to see. I'll throw in some shots of Brandywine Falls here and there, of the ski resort, should I say. I'll throw that in here. And I'll also try to get some better images of the art on the bridge over there near the Boston Peninsula, Helltown area, where we first started the video. So we saw that as we were coming in, but I didn't get a good chance to get a good glimpse of that. So I'm gonna try to get that in, put that in the video, try to edit that in. So if you guys see that, that's awesome. But if not, I do apologize. So my name is Josh. I really appreciate you guys sticking along this long into the video. I try to make these videos as informative as I can, as well as I try to make the videos as fun as I can to see as many places. So if you guys can hit that like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, my name is Josh, the Daily Explorer, and I'm out.